Hey there everyone, Trizu here. Welcome back to the New Vegas Collection series. Today, we go after the final named weapon in the Big Empty, which is, to finish things off, another glove, the last glove, Dr. Mobius's glove. And I have advanced the story to such a point that I can now enter the Forbidden Zone. In fact, I had to get one of the sound chips to do whatever it was that they do. And I had to deactivate this thing. But I did it by the computer, so I didn't actually have to fight the damn thing. However, I'm still fully capable of destroying it if I don't make myself, if I'm not making a mistake. And potentially these turrets, hang on. Oh, yeah. They're tough little bitches, though. There you go. They ain't worth much. What's he worth? That's actually kind of cool. I don't think that's worth my time and energy, but that was kind of funny. Any dang ways. Now I can go into the dome of the Forbidden Zone. And now, as I come in here, it's actually rather simple.
The neutrons attached to the meson. Meson's connected to the proton.
All I need to do is come in here and figure out where the hell it's stashed, which is right here. Final weapon achieved. Sup, bitch? So now all I have to do is get back home to put everything away.
Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? You seem familiar somehow. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left? Yeah.
It wouldn't let me pickpocket
The
him
bottom right.
to get through this.
Time to fight.
Beams and my spectral array of dissection lasers. I will blast you.
Injection.
Let's gang up on it, guys. Behold the power of science.
Injecting stimpack.
Does this weapon have soft lock? Anyone? Does this weapon have soft lock? Anyone? Power of our atomic attacks.
This will complete my defeat.
For us. I will unleash
Damn it, I
That's
was really
all.
hoping not to have to do that, as I went over previously. Oh well. Actually kind of liked most of them. Klein's the only one that really pissed me off. Like, literally, Dala was one of my favorites. Oh well.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The Courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. which had always been Big Mountain's purpose.
I'm almost
Past
positive
the
if I
laboratories
have the
and
speech
science,
ability, I can
it
get
had
through
always
that
been
without killing
intended
them.
as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the Courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The Courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries, to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the Courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the Courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the Courier had to walk alone.
Oh, that's nice. Head cannot be crippled still. Good. Didn't quite level up with that.
Where to, partner?
Ooh, okay. Now we just have to put a bunch of weapons away. I need you to roll over, Glove. Or you could lay on the ground lifelessly. Whatever. Sort of. Just need to spin it around. Particulars of how they all sit. Damn it. Actually just going to be easier to shuffle this down to the bottom shelf and let the gloves have their own space all to themselves. But that's not all. We also have the X2. Where'd you go, bud? That stands up real easy. I like that. Let's see, everything else goes in other rooms. Beautiful. So that's all my whaler weapons. Guess what's probably gonna cause problems for me? This motherfucker, Ray. I'm just gonna leave it. Like, I might scoot the ass end over a little bit here, but that's about all I want to deal with. I know how bad this thing can be. No, that's what I wanted. Technically, I do, actually. That's helpful. Okay. Pulse gun can go back where it used to live moments before I left. Excuse you? If you wouldn't mind behaving somewhat normally, it'd be really nice. Cool. And while I'm also here, let's get that sonic emitter on the shelf. That's gonna have to do. And then, of course, we also have the LAER. Excuse you. I need you up on the table if you don't mind. It's interesting. This is basically a stretched pulse gun, but not nearly as awesome in its effects. Just a laser weapon with shitty durability, ultimately. It does good damage, it's just, you know, durability is dick. And of course, we can't leave out Christine's rifle. Could you not, mate? There we are. And on this end of the table, there are a couple others I can't forget. The K9000, of course. Excuse you? What the fuck was that? again. And we can't forget the other one, Fido. Which, now that they're both on the table, I can point out some of the differences between the two models, other than the, you know, the mechanical and caliber differences and all that. But you can see there's overall an actual coloration difference in several of the bits. So that's how you tell them apart. All in all, I think that's everything. Other than, you know, the one protonic inversal axe that I kind of just happened upon, but that's just a standard, or that's just a variant weapon that I just kind of happened upon. There's a few of those laying around. But what an adventure I have had. So now, I think we can move on to, I believe next up is Lonesome Road. So we will begin that adventure on the next episode. We'll see you then.